Welcome back, everybody, to the podcast that is Kinky in all things taboo. On the fringe, alternative. We'll say that. This is the alternative podcast around the Kinky campfire. This is your host, Julius Marquise, or just Julius if you're feeling less fancy. And I have another episode for you because I've gone to a place and back. It's only like 30 minutes for me, but I've gone to a place in a convention, and it's called Podfest 2026. Yes, you know I like to recap the podcast convention every year after I go, well, any convention really, and talk to y'all about my experience and how I've grown. I'll say that now. I've grown over the years. Every year I try to add a little something. This year was trying to get my networking social skills up. Y'all know how I like to work on my social skills, and I've been working on them, hopefully somewhat successfully. Sure, totally. That's what I've been trying to do, and I did that. I exchanged business cards, and I got names. And I had to relearn names because I forget names. So I had to relearn names again. And I would say that hopefully it's going to stick for next year, but it's probably not. So we'll see how it goes. But then I have a book now. So I had a little notebook, and I wrote the names down in there. So hopefully I remember and took some notes. And once again, I learned something new that I was not expecting. I was half expecting it. I was expecting to learn something new. I just wasn't expecting to learn what I wanted. But then also I was kind of trying to tailor my classes that I went to or had time to go to outside of volunteering and learn something from those classes and hopefully take a skill / habits and work on it over the year or over this coming year again before the next convention. And yeah, it's just, man, long story short, it always flies by. You got them few months when you start getting the emails about buying tickets and it's coming around the corner, and then you jump into the town halls and the Zoom meetings, and those weeks fly by, and all of a sudden it's the week of, and like the Monday before, or Tuesday before you're getting ready to go to the convention, you're like, okay, getting all packed up and ready to go, get the game plan going, get the Hoover app all updated with all your agenda, even though I still had to recheck and add stuff every day or every morning of the convention and sometimes afternoon as well. So it's great. Podfest convention festival. Podfest convention. Yeah, that always threw me off. Anyways, I went in there and got my volunteer times and then worked my classes out and then reconnected with people and made new friends and tried to get the taboo track. Should be an alternative track. Yeah, we keep it simplified for the vanilla people. Taboo, that's what we are. We're the taboo track. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the rest of that in detail. But first, before we do, I do have a drinky drink here, and y'all know what time it is. It's the ASMR 10 seconds, 5 seconds, 1 second, all the above. We'll see how long it goes, because it is cold, and it's also a school night, so I don't have a lot in here. But we have the, once again, unsponsored Swauza Tequila Blanco Reposado something. I don't even know all the words that are on there. The Swauza Tequila, unsponsored. Here we go. ASMR, 3, 2, 1. So cold. Oh goodness, so cold. Okay, before I run out of time, let me get to the main points here. I actually have notes. I got notes. Okay, first of all, we were in the same hotel as last time. We were in a different area, which was very interesting. Most of y'all probably don't really care about that part. But it was a different section of the hotel. We were on the other side. Much more separated from the rest of the hotel, which was good. We were way in the back. And then also everything was, well, for the most part, was in one space. There was like a couple of classes that were off in a different section because we didn't have enough room for everything. But it was that part was fine too. At least we were having like a section off a place where people were trying to sit and then trying to come across without their badges, all the different kind of stuff. So it's a great hotel right there by SeaWorld. Fantastic hotel, and I know where to get free parking, and it's only like a block away. So I park my car, walk over there nonchalantly, even though it's freezing cold, which was some bullshit. This is Florida. Why am I having to wear like a parka outside and see my breath? I should not see my breath in Florida. Ridiculous. Anyways, that was great. Nice hotel. I really do like that hotel. One of these days, I need to go ahead and get a room in there and see how what it's really like. But I've seen the pool from afar in the area, and it's like, oh, that's pretty nice. And we did have like half the volunteers didn't show up, which was great. I need some explanations from some of y'all people. It was like, why are y'all not there? So had to make do with the volunteers that we had, and that was great. I would like to say I'm not officially part of the team as of yet. I'm slowly getting promoted to like room monitor, quote unquote. I'll just keep it simple. That's basically what it is. I'll be checking the stuff next year. So be looking forward to that as we go into Podfest 2027. Oh, God. Years are flying by. This is like year 12 of Podfest. I missed a few years. I was there like 8. I think that was the first one I was at. But, oh, my God. Yeah, this is growing, getting bigger and bigger. And I'm getting a promotion slightly. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. And it was a good time, even though we didn't have enough people. I tried to add some more shifts and stuff on my thing, try to be helpful, but they really didn't need me. So congratulations to the whole the management leaders of the volunteer side of things, because they'd be knocking it out every single year. And I don't think a lot of people had very many compliments. I would love to see what the suggestion box, whatever you want to call it, comment box looks like, and seeing people from the past and then coming back again and checking in with everybody. So that's great. Oh man, I still have more homework to do. I just thought of a couple of people I still have not connected with on the app and need to check in with. Okay. Then we had a lot of newbies. Newbies are always great. Newbies to podcasting, newbies to volunteering. And everybody being very helpful. Everybody's very nice, even though they may not have known what they were doing, but it's still great. And getting to chat with them, and also chatting to the people and the vendors and the speakers and everything that have been coming over the years and coming back over the years. So great. And getting to be a speaker this time on the panel, and jump up ahead on that information, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, I had to get my notebook. I said that before. I was like, I'm going to pack me a notebook, because trying to remember everybody's names is just silly. I don't know how people do it. I can't do it. Julius cannot do that. Okay, that's just not how it works out. Gotta remember people. And it's people I haven't seen in a year. I already have trouble remembering people from last weekend. So imagine me trying to remember people from a year ago. Yeah, I remember faces though. I still remember the faces. But yeah, I'm so glad at conventions you have a name badge, or you're supposed to have your name badge on so people can see it. Fantastic. We need a badge for everything. There should be just badges for people to carry around for all different kinds of events. I just had me a merchandising idea in my head, and I need to like write it down and make a note of it for next time. Yep, this will be great. Oh man, ribbons. Didn't have them this year. Got to have them next year. Okay. So yeah, remember people's names. I think I just gotta start telling people. I'm sorry, I know you, but I don't remember your name. I guess put your badge on, and I can remember your name if you remember to wear your badge. Y'all driving me crazy not wearing your badges. As you can see, it's a thing. Okay, so remembering names and connecting with people. Also, I wish there was a way that. I know so there's an app. Pretty much every convention has an app. This one for Podfest is Whova, however you want to say it. WHOVA, Whova. And it is helpful getting connected that way and putting faces on to names. It's good when people put their faces on their profiles. Thank you very much. It's very helpful. But I feel like I still miss people, and it's hard to connect because people see your information on there and then hit you up, and it's like out of context because it's like exchange contact information about what. And then, sometimes you're trying to be unique with your name or your podcast, and it's like, that's great. Unless you specifically say, I'm a woman of divorce talking to other women of divorce. It's like, okay, now I know what your podcast is about. And I'm speaking to myself around the Kinky campfire. I mean, you kind of understand what's going on. If I put a fireplace in the logo, it's like, okay, well, not a fireplace, a fire pit in the logo. You're just going around having rather lighthearted conversation about a very alternative topics. So that's a thing. Yeah, that's what we do. And I'm getting old. wrist is hurting. Okay. So yeah, getting connected with people. I wish there was something else we could do, but I'm horrible at too much information. People hit me up. It's like, oh, we connect. I'm like, well, I don't know. So over the next couple weeks, y'all might hear me complain about this because I'm still like catching up on all the things. I still need to contact people and like look into researching people and all this stuff. Plus, I had a couple people email me to be like a guest on the show before the convention. I still haven't gotten to those people, so I need to get on that and see how that works out. So you might hear some interesting guests, and hopefully I don't make it awkward because it's like they're boring and I can't watch my face. Y'all don't know this, but I make faces. I've been doing it since the beginning, and now that we have video, there's not been too many video on there. But yeah, I don't know if I'm going to hide my face. We'll see how that goes. It'll be funny. We'll see how that goes. Okay. I'm afraid in the future already. It hasn't even happened yet. But I have to be a producer as well as talking to y'all and taking notes to do shows and everything. So I have to like do a Google Calendar meet thing with these people and figure out if we're cool to do an episode with. Yay, fun background stuff that y'all may or may not care about. But guess what? I'm going to tell you anyway because I get to rant to y'all and y'all here. So you know what? Why you still listening to episodes if you didn't want to hear about this? But I'm going to tell you anyways. Yeah, that's great. Yay, social stuff. Ugh, good Lord. Speaking of not doing much, I only had a few shifts volunteering, and I feel like I really didn't do anything. But they want to promote me next year anyway, give me more responsibility. I welcome it. Please and thank you. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited what I'm going to be doing. But yeah, it felt like, man, the time just flew. Got there at like 10 a.m. most days. Left at like 8 p.m. ish, and yeah, the time just flew by. It didn't feel like 12 hours, and caught some classes. I missed some classes I wanted to do, but I got some notes that I still need to work on. So hopefully y'all will see in the future Julius get his game right. And if y'all on the socials, I apologize now because I'm gonna have to do that. That is a step that needs to be done. Y'all are gonna be seeing more of me on there with the assistance of some artificialness, but still, I am a business of one. I keep saying business now because that's what we're working on. So that's what's happening. And if y'all have sponsorships or something and you need if you need somebody to push your product, let me know. Send me emails. Y'all know the email address because I put it in the intro and outro. And in the socials, you can DM me on there. I am a sponsor whore. I've done a couple practice sponsor reads, unofficially, not sponsored. Y'all let me know how that goes, and I'll be a whore for y'all pushing your shit. Let me get an adult store somewhere. That'd be fucking great. You tell me right now you got some dildos and some butt plugs you need to peddle to people. I will 100% give it to me. I took a class on how to get a sponsorship. So y'all gonna see this now. I was starting this thing as like a hobby and a little ranting thing in the beginning a few years ago, but things changed over the years, and bottom line is if I get some money, I'm going to more conventions. You're going to hear more of these convention wrap-ups. Hopefully get out of Florida to go to more conventions. I want to host and put on shows and all that kind of stuff. So that is where the money is going to, for the most part. And there's might be some back-end stuff that I might need to do. But I'm going to be stepping it up. I'm saying this right now. This is my commitment to y'all in the middle of this recap. Stepping it up, trying to make this more of a business, trying to be more professional, starting here and all my things. So if y'all on the socials, be ready to see more of this, and hopefully it'll be funny. But on that note too, yeah, I don't know how much backstory y'all want, but I'm not going to be super serious with this, okay? I'm getting tired of all these educators, and it's like, okay, everybody's got like a helpful start to your day and all these pro tips to have a meaningful life, and like, yeah, cool. I am not that positive. I'm way more pessimistic than that. Anyways, y'all going to get more lightheartedness from me, Julius, okay? mentioned it before. I am an improver as well, so I believe in all things comedy. And I am not an expert. I will say all the stuff that experts say on here, regurgitate the information, but I am trying to be more entertaining. And to me, that is more emotional, more vulnerable, and more comedic. So that is what I'm trying to get to y'all. So don't come on here. If this is your first episode specifically, if you're a longtime campsters, what I've been calling y'all, don't be expecting some hoity-toity fancy stuff. If y'all sitting there thinking, agreeing with me, and y'all ain't chuckled to yourself at like every 5 minutes or so, that's a problem. Not really. I'm not being 100%. Doesn't have to be 5 minutes. But my point is, I'm not gonna be like super serious. I ain't gonna be super dry. I'm going to give you information because I am an educator, but y'all are going to get it in an entertaining way. I'm telling y'all right now because that's how it's going to be. So says the Julius, okay? So speaking of comedy, this is an enlightenment I had from being on the comedy panel. Comedy panel was great. We got great questions. I was up there with entertaining people all fans of comedy, and I like that we had a diversity for the most part. 2 women, 3 guys. Wasn't just a big sausage fest, which was great. Everybody got in the joke. Everybody knew the bits and stuff like that. We actually had one question for somebody about a comedy book. I really wanted to be like, you know how many comedy books are out there? How many classes I've taken? Good Lord Almighty, man! You mentioned one book out of one book out of many. And then I couldn't think of the one I actually read about comedy in the back. Oh, I was going to pull out my phone, but that was too much. But yeah, I just made a joke about how I don't read in general. And that, I kind of say, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting good at this stuff. I'll pat myself on the back. That was a good joke at the time. I'm going to have to get the video of that because that was a fun panel. And everybody's asking great questions. Most of it is about putting comedy into their podcasting episodes. And it's like, stop trying to be funny. Be genuine. Speak your truth. That part is way more entertaining than trying to insert a joke somewhere, especially if you suck at it. No, you can suck at comedy, but you can always get better, all right? There are people talk about talent and skill and all that bullshit. If you actually work on it, you can still get better at it. You might not be the best at it, but you can still be better at it. But I would say, especially in podcasting, it's like, don't try to be funny. That's not entertaining. That's bad. You try to insert jokes in there. Be truthful. Be honest about it. If I'm a goofy motherfucker and I stick it in the butt instead of the other place or something like that, I just don't see that. Trying to inject funny into there didn't really work at the time. My point is, I make mistakes, just like that horrible joke that probably nobody laughed at. And I'm not even laughing. That was terrible. Should just edit that out. Y'all might not even know what I'm talking about. Maybe I'll leave it in just as a point that it needs to be said. Be honest with yourself. I am very self-deprecating, and I hope y'all understand this. I will be injecting more of my actual sarcasm into this thing because it's like, why am I trying to fake the funk? I'm a sarcastic motherfucker. And I hope and pray. I hope that my future guests come back and watch this part and be like, oh, he said he was going to be an asshole, and this is where it is. I'm going to be an asshole. Not necessarily on purpose, maybe entertaining, not accidentally, I should say, in an entertaining way, but that's just how it is. Goodness, yeah, we'll see how it goes. And speaking of trying to do something new, again, we did not have a taboo track. It's unfortunate. We did do one taboo meetup. There was like a handful of us that were there, but it was good. And then some people were like, "Oh, I missed it, but I want to chat." And I was like, "Yeah, what time?" The podcast flew by. It was very unfortunate. Podcast convention flew by. It was unfortunate. I wanted to talk to them specifically, especially if they made a comment on the convention thing, the convention app about the meetup. That so we got to work on it. And I was talking to somebody about that taboo track. It's like, what can you teach about alternative podcast topics that would make up a whole track? You need 8 of them. And I was like, fuck. What would be specific for a alternative podcast that you could teach at a podcast convention? It's like the words you can't say on certain different social media platforms. It's like, okay, yeah, it's so much easier to do the improv, but that's kind of overloaded now. I applied to do that, and it was like, oh, okay. A couple people jumped on it before I could, and taught the same thing. So how can I use that? So I teach the alternative topics. But how would I make that specific for podcasts? So yeah, that's going to be kind of interesting. So we'll see how that goes. I got a year to plan it. Technically less than a year now, but anyway, who's counting? So we'll keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully we'll have a taboo track for next year. Okay? Hopefully that will happen. I will say I did lead a successful meetup, and it is it was big step up for your introverted self. It was great. I did it. People came out, and that was fun. I participated. And then after that, we had a comedy section part along with the panel, the classes and meetups and stuff like that. Glad we got to do that. Maybe I'll just help them with that next year. I should probably do that too. Help them with that. Oh, there's so much homework. I didn't realize I was going to have this much homework after a podcast convention. Like, what I'm running through my head is the stuff I forgot that I still need to do. Oh, man. Anyways, I got through this homework of doing an episode instead of being like, and I'm just going to push it off for another week. But then I would have forgot all the stuff I wanted to talk about and tell y'all about Podfest 2026. And it's like, glad I went ahead and did it. Got me an adult beverage and knocked it out. But we'll see how it goes. And I successfully network with people. Thank you very much. Thank you. And thank you. It's very impressive. Just going to pat myself on the back. That's all there is to it. And now y'all see video. So we're doing some upgrading somewhat. All right. So hopefully we'll keep this going for the rest of the year. Maybe we'll upgrade something else. We'll see how that goes. But that's it for now. Another episode around the Kinky Campfire. This is your hostess with the... I can't resist. It just rhymes. It works. Anyways, I am Julius Marquise, or just Julius if you're less fancy. New episodes every Thursday and video on Friday. Look forward to that being all there, and watch out for me on the social medias. It'll be up here again in the outro. Y'all hear it on the Instagram, the Twitters, and in the YouTube shorts and all of that. Go and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you ain't on there, because this is where the video is. So if you're seeing it, then it's going to be on there. All right? That's all for now. Hello.